Well, hey, y'all. Thank you for joining me for another episode of The Background. My name is Ricco Holston, and
Yeah.
hope y'all had a great day. And thank you, Jesse, for joining me, bro.
Oh, no doubt.
This is good to talk about because last year I didn't register this year yet. Maybe I will, but last year I had a chance to complete my first full half marathon, and just wanted to share everybody, what it kind of looks like. These medals were super dope, bro. I'm not gonna lie. When I crossed that finish line, I saw I got this. I was like, yo, it was worth struggling those 13.1 miles. And so, tonight I just wanted people to get to know you.
All right.
Obviously, I've seen you, I heard of you, but I never had a chance to really talk to you. So this is a chance for me to get a chance to know who you are and
Yeah.
as a person, as a race director.
Yeah.
So if you want to introduce yourself, however you like to start off, man, whatever you
Yeah.
want people to know about you, and we
Yeah.
can go from there.
Yeah. That's a good question. So, hey, everybody, my name is Jesse Harmon. Yes, I am the race director for the Run Hard Half Marathon, 10K and 5K. So, yes, I may be the director, but we have a lot of people that play crucial parts of that event and just make race day really special. So, the Run Hard Half Marathon event, essentially, it's a fundraiser for our youth program that we do. The youth program is called Run Hard. That's an after school running program for kids second grade all the way through eighth grade. So this is a fundraiser that I'll explain a little bit more in detail about that in just a minute. But just more about me on a personal level. I have 4 children. I have my oldest is my only girl. Her name is Georgia Grace. She's 14. I have a 13-year-old son, Graham. I have a 10-year-old son, Grady, and an 8-year-old son, Gaines, which I think a couple of them, I know for sure one of them is going to be running the 5K on Saturday. So if you're out there at the race, uh, look for a curly blonde hair kid. That's my boy Grady. He'll be running the 5K. The other ones they might run, who knows? But him for sure. So, uh, personal level, that's a little bit about my family, who I am. I started the Run Hard program in 2012, so I've been doing it for about 13 years now. We started the Run Hard Half Marathon. I believe our first year was 2015. So this is we've been doing it for about a decade now, and all with the purpose of being a fundraiser for our program. Because our program, it's a fee-based program. What we do is we teach life values, and we also train kids to finish a 5K. And so with the fee-based program, sometimes we work with schools in low-income areas. We work with families who can't afford the program fee. So we supplement that from the pool of money that we get from this event. So this event really is just kind of I want to give you that picture just to help runners and participants understand how this event is benefiting the community here in and around Lexington. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. I used to run a lot more than I do now. Most of the running I'm doing is like running around taking my kids wherever they need to go. But yeah, so I've done 12 marathons myself, and I don't know how many half marathons I've done. Probably twice as many as that. I don't know. But yeah, I've had the opportunity to run the Boston Marathon once. That's probably the most prestigious, I would say, event that I've been a part of. So that was a really fun time. So running is a great stress reliever, a great way to stay healthy, a great way to stay active, a great way to be part of the community. So, I mean, the list can go on and on about just the benefits of running. But yes, that's the reason why I run. Yeah, man.
And what was it like the first year you did the event? Like, how did it turn out? What was the support like? Just overall, knowing that it was going to be something that you wanted to do just down the road as well.
Yeah, so it was really cool because we had just finished our first year being the race directors for the Columbia Marathon. So just to kind of go back in time a little bit, the first year we did the Columbia Marathon, kind of long story short, the Columbia Marathon didn't have a race director that first year. And they needed somebody to direct the race because we're like, it's our capital city. We need a marathon. We need a hometown marathon. So the Run Hard team, we jumped on board. We took it over. And then we're like, man, that was a fantastic event. It would be really cool to do something in Lexington. I'm born and raised here in Lexington. So I was like, man, it would be really cool to have a community event like a race. Obviously, Lexington couldn't handle a marathon, but definitely a half marathon. So it was really cool that first year coming off the heels of the marathon because we had, I mean, just pull back the curtain for a second. We had no clue what we were doing with the marathon. We just like how to direct the thing. Like we had directed 5Ks. So multiply that by 5 and you get a marathon, right? Or even more than 5, what, 6, 7? So, yeah, whatever. Yeah, a lot more, right? So that first year it was a lot of unknowns, but it was one thing that made it easy was we had a lot of community support. So even though Lexington was small or up and coming and everything, we always had community support. So that was really fun. It kind of like just makes you want to make the race better, you know? So that first year specifically, it was like, wow, are we really doing this? Lexington, are we doing this? So it was fun. And we partnered that first year with a group. They're called Patty Packs that first year. So it was really cool to partner with them because they help out children in the children's hospital in certain ways and everything. So it was just really that first year really cool to see all the community involvement and giving back to the community in various ways. So we've just tried to build on it from there. The first year, I think in the first 3 or so years of the event, we finished in a church parking lot. So we didn't really have many venues, you know, to host our race at. So we were doing it in a church parking lot, and hey, we made it happen, and it was good. But yeah, we've kind of upped the game since then, so to speak.
Wow. So you said it was Columbia. Y'all had the first ever marathon, or was it Lexington?
Yeah, so we had the Columbia Marathon, and we did that for 7 years. That was a full marathon. So we had a marathon, half marathon, and 5K associated with that event. And then a year later is when we started the Lexington event. And we directed the Columbia event for 7 years, and it ran its course and did its thing. And so obviously we don't do that any longer, but just the Lexington event. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I talk to runners all the time, and a lot of people, man, they start running. I would say running, but some people walk, and so
Yeah.
basically, like as far as like fitness, some people don't start until like their 40s,
Oh
50s.
yeah.
I meet a lot of people, man, that started very late when they wanted to do a 5K. I'm like, this is so encouraging and so
Yeah.
inspiring. So
Yeah.
when did your backing up a little bit? When did your fitness journey start, or were you always involved in sports and stuff like that growing up?
I wasn't always well, I was always interested in sports. I played sports, but really wasn't a real athletic kid or athletic enough to make the sports team in school. So I didn't start running until I got married in 2006, and my local gym was advertising a 5K. And I was like, man, I got a couple months to run a 5K. I think I can run a 5K, you know? So I started training a little bit. I was working at a church at that time. I was a youth pastor, and some of the students in my youth group, they were on the cross country team. So, I would ask them questions sometimes. I would ask them to go on a run sometimes. And so just trying to pick their brain a little bit to try to figure out this whole running thing. I remember I ran that race, man, and I was like, man, this is great, like just working hard towards a goal, pushing yourself a little bit. It was just a great experience. So I literally came home and I was like, man, we got to find something else to do. What's next? And so I didn't know where to look online for races, nothing like that. So I found another race. It was a 10K race in Columbia, and they don't have the 10K race anymore. It was for Habitat for Humanity. I can't remember what it was called, but it was at a church near Lexington Hospital. And I just remember that was the hilliest 5K I've ever run in my life to date. It was the hardest thing I've ever done from a 10K perspective. And it pushed me so hard, but I was like, man, I love this running thing. So I came home from that. That was September, I ran a 5K. October, I ran a 10K. I came home from that, and I told Sarah, I was like, I'm gonna run a marathon. You know, and she's like, you you don't want to run like a half marathon first or anything? I was like, nope, we going all in, baby. So so that October, I signed up for my first marathon the following March, and it was the Snickers Marathon in Albany, Georgia. That was my first marathon, and I set a time goal. I wanted to run 3 hours and 30 minutes for my marathon. I remember I finished in like 3:31 or something like that. Like I was so close to it, and I was like, man, I'm too close to quit now. So that just started just me running more, training more, and just falling in love with the sport.
Wow. So you finished in 3:31, you said?
That was my first one, yeah.
And your first one, and what was your training like prior to that though? Like what was
And just whatever I could find online, really. Like it was, I think I found a training plan and printed it out. I remember I ran 20 miles a couple times, and man, it was just, I look back on it now and just think, I'm like, man, I did some crazy things back then, just thinking that it was good training, but I didn't know any different. So yeah, it was a good time.
so yeah, would you say you had after that first 5K that you had the runner's bug, they call
Oh,
it? Like, I
oh
didn't
yeah.
think I didn't think it existed, but now I see it does exist.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I remember I came home from that. I'm like, man, yeah, this is awesome.
Man. Well, let me ask you this too. So what can as far as like because I have other questions to ask you too, but as far as the race, like, what can people expect as far as like the route? Is it still the same route as last year for the half, 10 and
Yeah.
5K? For people to know in
Yeah.
general. Yeah.
Yeah. Good question. From our routes last year, nothing's changed. So, but remember, last year was a new route for the half marathon because the half marathon didn't loop in the neighborhood twice. Like when you go out, you loop through the neighborhood, you run around Lexington, you come back, you got to loop through the neighborhood again and come back. So just remember that last year, yeah, nothing changed from last year. 5K, 10K, half marathon. But the years prior, there was a difference. So just be heads up on that. From if you were at the event last year, if you're in the event last year, nothing's changed. All right.
Yeah.
If you ran it 3 years ago and you're running a half marathon this year, yes, it's a different course. We don't run by the soccer fields and all that. So just be aware of that. But yeah, from last year, nothing's changed.
Yeah, when I did the half last, I actually enjoyed the course because the course was somewhat pretty much flat. Was it just me, or I felt like it was kind of flat, honestly,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's
And
runner friendly. One year, like the first year that we ever did it, we ran up 378 the opposite way. So you're going up that hill the whole time, which was, I mean, it's pretty brutal after a while because it's almost a 2 mile hill. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, absolutely. And also, like, what about traffic? Like, people, I know some people I've talked to, they might have been a little concerned, wondering, making sure that, people are going to be mindful of runners and stuff like that. So how is that, organized so far for this weekend with police officers and,
yeah.
people just, you know.
What I would say is make sure no matter what event you're running, whether it's the half, 10K, 5K, get there before 7 a.m. Like 7 a.m., let that be your deadline because the half marathon starts at 7:30. Roads are going to start blocking off at 7:15. But remember, like all the traffic is going to start and really be heavy between 6:45 and 7:15. So if you're like, oh, I live 15 minutes from the start line, I can get there in 15 minutes. Probably not the case on Saturday morning. Give yourself extra time. If you're running the 5K at 8 a.m., I know it starts at 8 a.m., but roads are going to be blocked off. I have people every year calling me and saying, hey, I can't get to the start line of the 5K. What do I do? And then at that point, my best suggestion is pull over, get out your car, and walk to the start line because like, I can't tell cops to let you through. Like I just can't. So give yourself enough time. Plan on being there by 7 a.m. If you haven't got your bib, you can check in, get your bib. You can go sit back in your car because our parking lot's right there. You can cheer on other runners as they're starting their half marathon event. You can warm up. Like, there's a lot of other things you can do. So just make sure you're on site. So that's a big thing, man. Just, I tell people all the time, make sure you're there no later than 7 a.m. and enjoy the morning. The weather's supposed to be great. So make sure you're there by 7 and you'll be okay.
Sweet. And do you know how many runners that have that did it last year? Do you kind of keep up with a number as far as like how
Yeah.
many have been involved like over the
Yeah.
last
So
year or so?
last year, our total was 984 total runners. So that was all of our events. So we surpassed that today. So we're over 1,000 runners as of right now, with another day of registration left. We do have spots. Now the spots are becoming limited for the 5K and the half marathon. I don't know if anybody will sign up this late for the half, but I know we're going to sell out of the 5K. So if you're thinking about doing the 5K, and that's not a used car salesman pitch, I promise. I promise. So, but the thing is, like, once we sell out, like, I can't do anything about it, you know. So if you want to participate, go ahead and sign up. But yeah, we are. I think Brooke told me this afternoon. I was on the phone with her just a minute ago, and she says that we were like at 1,004, something like that. So we'll probably get, we'll probably be 1,100 runners or so by race day.
Wow. And that y'all didn't have that many the first year, right? How many you think you probably had the first year when you
Yeah,
did it?
this is our biggest event ever for the Lexington half marathon event. Yeah.
Man, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And like, so have the just for fun, like have the medals changed? Have the finisher medals, are they a little different? Are they kind of similar? It's like, are you able to give anything away, or is it going to be a
Man,
surprise?
like,
Just-
I'm looking around my office right now. I don't have a medal
If you don't have it, it's cool. I just wanted to know if
with
people
me.
kind of
I
excited
mean, I
about it.
got it. Like, we'll give them out at the finish line. But yeah,
Yeah.
bummer, dude. I should have even thought about that, man. Yeah. I don't have a reveal.
Okay. And what's the oh, I'm always thinking of good questions afterwards when I think about it afterwards. What is the time limit for the half marathon, 10 and 5?
Yeah, so really the time limit, we really only have a time limit for the half marathon, because if you run the 10K, 5K, then you just have to be back on Ballpark Road by a certain time. But it's 3.5 hours for the half. So you just have to finish by 11 o'clock. If there's ever a question if you can finish by 11, you can start early, but just know if you do start early, you'll need to let me know. I'll be at the start line. You need to let us know if you're starting early. That way I can let the police force know that we got some people starting early. But if you do start early, you have to walk on the side of the road, because there won't be any police support until 7:30 a.m. All right. So which should be fine, because you're walking down Ballpark Road. There's grass shoulder that you can walk on. And there's also, once you get in the neighborhood, coming out of the neighborhood, then you're already a couple miles into the race. So you should be okay.
Okay, sweet. And other question I was going to ask you, just in general, like what can people expect after, like, you all providing, snacks or Gatorade, water,
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah,
now.
dude, we got a special treat this year. We got, like, all you can eat broccoli bar.
All you can eat broccoli bar.
Bro, I'm kidding. No, that sounds disgusting, doesn't it? Sounds disgusting. Yeah. I was just trying to, like, just throw, like, the health food out there. Yeah, man, bro. We wouldn't, like, nobody would come race if we had a broccoli bar. That just popped in my head, man. That'd be disgusting. But yeah, so oatmeal brew pubs coming out. You get a free beverage. Every finisher gets a free beverage at the finish line. And then we'll have Starbucks out there handing out coffee. We got pizza from Venetiano's out there, coming out there as well. So we'll have that. And then, of course, we got the water, Gatorade. We got Earth Fare coming to give out some of the fruit and other kind of nutritious snacks. And so, yeah, Should be a really cool post race kind of party, get together, hang out, yeah, all that.
Sweet,
Yeah.
man. And then I know I mentioned about the finisher medals, but y'all have like a grand prize? Like y'all usually try to wait to show people once they finish like wherever they are in their age group that, you know, as far as like the overall winner, second place
Yeah.
winner, third place, or is that something that always wants to be revealed later when the person finishes crosses the finish line, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're asking about age groups?
Yeah, well, if there's like an age group special prize for age group winners or overall winners as well.
Yeah,
Um,
we got overall winner awards, and we have age group awards. They are I'll go ahead and spoiler alert here. Yeah, so you get special first hand knowledge. So you heard it here first. So we've done the custom Christmas ornaments for our age group awards really for years, because we feel like this event kind of kicks off the holiday season. Um, so that's why we've done the ornaments. But this year we changed it up. We got a new age group award. I think it'll be more, I say more useful. It'll be useful, something that you can use every day, not just around the holiday season. So it'll give you an opportunity to use this item to brag a little bit too, because you know you're hanging Christmas ornaments up and you see something that says, "Oh, the Run Hard Half Marathon Age Group Award." As a parent, you get to brag to your kids, be like, "Hey, Dad had it back in the day." You know, you see what I'm saying? So I got an age group award, all that. So it's a conversation piece. This will also be a conversation piece, or you can use it as a conversation piece. So yes, we did change up our age group awards this year, but yeah, we'll go 3 deep in our age group, male and female, and then we'll also do overall awards as well.
okay, awesome. And always thinking of another question. That's why I think I
Yeah,
might be kind of good at this. But so the other question is, how much time does it take to do all this? As you know, because it's fun, it's family oriented. You know, you mingle with friends, you see runners that you run across every single day. You know, down the street
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
Like how much time does it take to do this? I mean, let alone the first year, but you've been doing this since 2012. So how much time does it take? How early do you prepare for this every
Yeah.
year?
Yeah, so every year is different because we want to make the experience the best it can be for all of our participants. So if you want to make it, if you want to improve on what you did last year, then it just takes time. Like, for example, we started 2 months ago working on um, the event for 2026. So, I mean, just from a brainstorming aspect and really getting approvals and different things like that, like it takes you, you have to start at least a year in advance. So, like we did sublimated printed shirts this year, and that took a lot longer. Like we were working on that in the summer. Like Lexington Medical Center helped us with design back in the spring. So, like we were trying on shirts back at the end of May. You know, so it just takes stuff like that. Just takes a lot of time to do. But even after we finished the event in 2024, we were already thinking about and using feedback to see like what can we do the next year. But I would say, I mean, come February, March, we're already in discussion about t-shirt designs, quality of t-shirts, giveaways, like what we're going to do. So, I mean, it's a very intentional at least 6 months. Like within 6 months, you really got to start working and preparing for the event. And that's really 6 months is last minute, honestly. So
Mm. Wow. And for the half marathons, what I also meant to ask is, would there be pacers? Because I noticed last year there was a couple of them. I don't know if I stuck with the one that I was behind, but I guess it was a good thing because I think I
yeah.
did better than I thought. But will y'all have pacers for the half as
Oh
well?
yeah. Yeah. We'll have, I'm going off memory here. So don't hold me to it, but pretty sure we'll have a 130 pacer. We'll have a 145 pacer. We'll have a 2 hour pacer, a 215, and a 230, I believe. Don't hold me to that 230, but I'm pretty sure we'll have a 230. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the reason for having the pacer, right, for people who are like new to running or don't know much about road racing, does it help the race uh, co- does it help complete the race a little quicker, or what's the reason for a pacer?
Yeah, I think it's for you to just improve the overall race day experience for people. Like sometimes, like if you want to go for a certain time, then it's really good to have that is worrying about the pace or worrying about the finish time, and you can just really lock in with them and say, if I can keep up with them, then I'll be okay. Like it just takes a little bit of the thinking off of it for you. And so it's just kind of to increase that race day experience a little bit. I've run races before where I've needed a pacer, and it was good because usually pacers can run that pace that they're pacing in their sleep. So they're able to talk to you a little bit more while you're trying to gasp for air. And it just relaxes you a little bit more. It's like, okay, they got it. I can just stick with them and hopefully I can reach my goal. So it's just really from a race director standpoint, it just helps improve the race day experience.
Okay. And from last year, and obviously you have this year as well, is it that you kind of like reach out to people that you know that are pretty skillful in running, or do people volunteer to say, hey, if you need someone to pace a few people, I
Yeah,
could be available? Is that how it
yeah,
works?
yeah. So we're fortunate enough that a lot of people reach out to us, and they're like, "Hey, do you need pacers? You need pacers for this finishing time." So really, Erin, she oversees all of our pacers, and she does a great job. And I'm kind of putting words in her mouth when I say this, but I don't even really think we have to go looking for pacers much. People want to pace, and for runners, sometimes that's the way we can give back. If we just want to help this race out, pacing is a great way to help it out and everything. So yeah, I say pretty easy to find. She may be like in the background somewhere saying like, Jesse, you have no clue. It's the hardest thing ever. But I don't think based on conversation with her, usually we're pushing people away from being a pacer just because we have all we need.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, like you help out with Tunnel to Towers as well, or and how are you involved? How much are you involved with that every year? Because this is my first year really, it's just really know you. So do you
Yeah.
help out with Tunnel to Towers too, or is it just yeah?
Yeah, there's a couple races that I help oversee as the race director. One of them is the Tunnel to Towers 5K in Columbia, and another one is the Get to the Green race for this part of the St. Patrick's Day Festival in March. So those are two races that I help out, and I do a couple of the small. I help out with other smaller races, 5Ks and stuff, but really it's from the standpoint of the smaller races, just kind of helping groups of people know what to do, kind of questions on how to do it, who to contact for this, because a lot of those events really go to benefit a really cool nonprofit or cause. And so any way I can help out, I can. My time has just become a lot more limited lately, so I can't help as much as I used to. So I've had to pull back quite a bit. But yeah, I do the Tunnel to Towers and the Get to the Green race, and then I oversee the Run Hard program.
Okay, and I'm glad I asked you about that question because one thing I noticed when I guess I moved up here in 2023 in November of 2023, and
Yeah,
that's when I really started getting involved with registering with for more races to run, and the one thing that was brought up in conversations where people were kind of like thinking about 10Ks, and when people would talk to me or I talk to them, they would always talk about. The Midlands don't have a lot of 10Ks, and if
yeah,
you do find a 10K, you gotta go a little
yeah,
further out to do one, which
yeah,
I did
yeah,
last April in Somerville because I wanted to improve on my time.
yeah,
And I realized when basically like get to the green, um, the run hard, as well as there's another 10K. But I realized there weren't many, so it's good to see that you're overseeing these races in particular because when somebody wants a 10K, they can run one with these races. You know what I mean?
right,
It's
right,
like so it seems like it's like a desire to see more of those, and I think even with the famously hot pink.
yeah,
it was a half marathon 5K, but it went down to a 10K because of construction at Riverfront Park. So I thought it was cool to have um, Run Hard, breast cancer, as well as Get to the Green. So that's like three 10Ks. And I think there might be another 10K going to be added under another race coming up. So what are your thoughts on that? Hopefully, would you do you desire to add more 10K races? Maybe possibly, or do you kind of like see it being like perfectly set the way that it is in general?
Yeah, so yeah, 10Ks, I agree with you. They're hard to find for sure. It just takes a lot more planning and stuff than a 5K does. And so, yeah, I agree with you. They're really hard to find. I would say for us, we're kind of set on our distances right now. I would love, if you're a race director out there and you're listening, like, hey, do it. Plan a 10K. Like, we need more of them. But yeah, from my standpoint, yeah, we're kind of capped where we're at.
Hey, that's amazing. That's great. And then other question I was going to ask you is, how do you take care of yourself with all this planning? What's something you got some hobbies that you love to do and love to hang out. I know you have kids, so what is it that helps you like kind of just rest a little bit and relax a little bit without thinking about having to do all this stuff
Yeah.
year after year?
Yeah. So, rest. What is that? That is a downfall of my existence. So I try to rest, but really I would say running is a stress reliever for me. I love to do that. I love to watch sports with my kids. They're real big into football. We're big football fans. So just doing stuff like that with my kids. And when it's warm, anything near water, so lake, beach. And we're in a busy season right now for my work. So like during the summer is really slow, and it gives us time to rest. So we travel, we spend time together and stuff. But like this weekend right here, after this weekend, then it's 6 weekends of races back to back to back. So it's this weekend kind of kicks off our race season all the way until the middle of December. So once the middle of December hits, that's our last one for our Run Hard program. And and then after that, we take a few weeks off, and then we're back at it again after the first of the year. So yeah, I would say rest for me is just like doing just kind of anything physical outside. I love being outside. It's always a stress reliever, spending time with my kids and everything is always something that refuels my tank. And I love people. I love talking to people. I love being around people. So the race event itself is really fun for me. I love talking to people at the races, talking running, even though I'm not actually running. So it's the planning and prepping that is hard. So there's many times people are on my team and they're like, Jesse, you gotta stop talking and go do work. Come on. So it's like, so people kind of refill my tank. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely. And other questions I was gonna ask you is how important is for young people to be involved? Like I know, like I said, you got kids, they're involved, obviously. How do you believe that can impact them into their adulthood? Because obviously there are people that I meet all the time, they
yeah,
start very late with wanting to do stuff like this, like just
yeah,
doing a road race. And like I
yeah,
say, everybody don't run, a lot of people walk. And that's my whole point of the podcast is getting people out, get people active, period.
yeah,
So
yeah,
but I see they're in a position, your kids in a position where they're always doing something, whether it's soccer or some
yeah.
other type of athletic sport. I think that's very important these days. So how do you think that's going to help them moving forward?
Yeah, I would say that it's never too early to develop healthy habits. And the thing that I try to instill in my kids is it's not so like what you do and it will eventually form like the habits that you create. So let's just like start forming good habits now. One of it is staying active, and just the therapy that going outside, sweating or doing something that's kind of difficult or intimidating, like running a 5K, like how much that builds self-confidence. So I would say it's never too early to develop healthy habits and to also start building your self-confidence in whatever you do. So find those things. Find those things that are healthy to do, and find those things that build self-confidence in you, and keep doing those things. And then I think you'll begin to see the return exponentially as you continue to get older. So yeah, those two things that you can find things that are healthy to do, and find things that build self-confidence, and you can really springboard your future.
And how important is faith to you? Because I see you have like speaking engagements.
Yeah.
Know you love Jesus, so I believe that's really awesome. You know, you as a father. And how much does that play a part in how you go about, your day to day life? You know, and
Yeah.
interacting with people
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
staying involved with, however God's plan has
Yeah.
for you. You know.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I would say that my faith is the pillar of my life, and it has to be. So it sustains me daily. Jesus, my Savior, encourages me daily. He's where I find refuge. He's where I find comfort. Because unfortunately, my family the past 2 years has gone down a road that I don't wish on anybody. In March, my wife passed away from colon cancer after a 1.5 year battle. And so, like, life has just given us or dealt us cards that are very difficult. So it's like, when those things happen, where do you turn and what do you do? And so I believe that whenever life gives you things like that, you have to find that entity that you believe will get you through, or that's immovable, or that will be there or see you through whatever it is. In my opinion, in my case, in my life, that's Jesus. And so that's where I had to turn whenever I was carrying the weight of my 4 kids and my wife, trying to find a cure for my wife, trying to let my kids know that everything was going to be okay. I mean, it was heavy, man, and it was a weight that almost felt like it was crushing. And so it was in those moments where you just have to turn. I had to turn to Jesus and say, Lord, I don't understand. I don't know what to do, but I'm just going to release everything and let you be in control. Because for so long, I tried to maintain control by just holding a tight grip on everything. And that's just a false sense of control. Whenever the Bible kind of gives us a different picture of what control really looks like, is surrendering everything to God, and then we are required to walk by faith, not by sight. And so our faith being in God, knowing that He's in control. So that was what I really had to lean into. And so like my family's Bible verse is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. And it says, trust in the Lord with all of your heart and don't lean on your own understanding. And that verse right there, God just walked me through it about what that word all means when it asks you to trust God with all of your heart. So, I mean, that was very convicting during that time, but it just forced me to get to a point where I had to surrender everything. And it was tough, but all that to say, like, faith is paramount in my life and in my family's life, just because we've seen the faithfulness of God through it all.
Yes, sir. Amen. And unfortunately, I lost my mom 6 weeks ago,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, it was very sudden to us, and I can see that in myself as well. That faith is
Mhm.
important to have, and you have to
Yeah,
have that foundation, right?
that's right.
That solid rock, not that sand that
Yeah,
makes you sink completely. Yeah.
yeah,
So I appreciate you sharing that. And so, but it seems like you're always, like I said, you're always involved in the community.
yeah,
And the running community is very unique, bro, because it's like you meet people from all over, that you probably would never even met before, if you
yeah.
had not signed up for a race. So what final message would you like to share to those who are intimidated about even signing up for a race? If they think they have to be as good as the other runners,
Yeah,
or just
yeah,
overall, like,
yeah.
how good is it just to be out there with other people?
Yeah, I can't remember the exact quote, but I think it was from Steve Prefontaine, where it says like 90% of the people don't even make it to the start line. You know, like, just the intimidation of the start line it's a real thing, because everybody's like, well, I don't want to be last. And I try to tell them, just, you won't be last. And you know what? Even if you are last, then you're still going to be the best you that day, because you had a choice whether you weren't going to show up or you are going to show up. And so you showed up. So that's the best version of you. Because there's a lot of advantage of doing things when they are intimidating to you. So do it scared. You know, like, yes, it's intimidating. Yes, you don't know if you'll be able to finish. Yes, you might be last. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how bad it's going to hurt, you know, but just to show up and do it and cross that finish line, like it's so therapeutic and helpful when you just say, hey, you know what? I'm scared out of my mind right now. So, but I'm gonna do it anyway, you know? So I think there's a lot of advantages to that.
And out of those 12 marathons, did you have fun running all of those? Did you have to remind yourself, okay, man, I still got like 15 more miles to go? Like, did you ever get in your
Uh,
head like that, or just to tell
man,
somebody, yeah,
yeah. So I will say that there were some that I'm like, man, this is incredible. You know, you get that runner's high at some point, and there were some that were just like I hit a wall, and that finish line could not come soon enough. So I'd probably say, I don't know, 60% of them that I finished, I'm like, man, that's great. The other 40% is like, I'm never doing that again. And then I wake up the next day and be like, all right, let's sign up for another one, you know? So, um, yeah, it's kind of funny how you can train the same and prepare the same, but then race day never ends up the same. But yeah, there's a sickness to us all that like those marathons, like to go that far and to hurt that bad and somehow in some weird way enjoy it, you know?
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And to remind everybody, like, so what are the start times for all the races on Saturday
You
mornings?
got the half at 7:30. This first one, it kicks off. It's our main event. And then you got a 10K at 7:45. And then you got the 5K at 8 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not too late to register for which one? Which one someone has the best someone who has the best chance of still being able to run a road race if it's not the half marathon, right? I know that's probably pretty much sold out, right? And you said you got the 10K and the 5K a little
We
bit.
got we got a good many spots left for the 10K and 5K. 5K is gonna sell out. You know, I know it will. It may sell out tonight. So if again, that's not a used car salesman pitch. I'm just saying, like we have the reason why it sells out is because we have a limited number of finisher medals. You
Yeah.
know, and so we want to make sure everybody that finishes gets a medal. So we can't overextend ourselves from the medal standpoint and just to have runners. So when I say sell out, that's why I can't let more in than what we have. So just know that I can. I don't know if my camera will go off. Check it, but I won't check it right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
pull
Yeah.
up the computer and check live, and I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
tell you. I can tell you in real time right now how
Yeah.
many spots. So everybody tuning in, that's you get special privilege to know
Yeah.
how many how
Yeah.
many
Take your
spots.
time. It's
All
a
right. So right now, what you want to know first?
the the 5K. Yeah. Yeah. 5K.
All right. So for the 5K, we got 21 spots left.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, so 21 spots left for the 5K. 10K, like I said, we got plenty of room. That won't sell out. We got, I think, 60 spots
Okay.
for that. And then half marathon, we have 13 spots.
Wow. Okay, gotcha. And deadline for those are to today tonight for the oh sorry for what is it on race day? Y'all not doing registration on race day, right?
Yeah,
Just
you can sign up online all the way until 7 a.m. You can't sign up on site, but you can
okay,
sign up online. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Sweet. There we go.
So,
And just want everybody to know, like, I don't want people to think they have to be, better than other people with this podcast, because honestly the whole point is people to get out and be active and get involved. So don't think just because you don't have something around your neck that you're not good. I
yeah.
just believe it's very encouraging for me when I received my first one back in 2022 when I lived in Chattanooga, and the guy, it was for the Juneteenth race up there, and I was at a start finish line. It was my second 5K. The first one I did like 2 weeks before that. It was like, just 26 minutes, but I didn't get anything. But the next race, bro, the guy that was at the start finish line, he was like, this is all you got to do. Just go down there and back, and you'll get something. And I
Yeah.
was like, this. I was like, I could actually get something just to say that he's like, yeah. For me, that was a shot because I'm thinking
Yeah.
y'all always got to be on the podium. So
Yeah.
for anybody that's listening to this, it's not about having material things, but you can be rewarded with something without
Yeah.
being first, second, or third. And
Yeah.
so hopefully that makes sense, Jesse.
Yeah. 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 I like it. I like it.
Yeah, and so but yeah, I appreciate y'all joining me tonight on the background. Again, y'all sign up for these races.
Let's
Jesse
go.
Harmon's done a great job. Anybody you want to shout out and tell you thank you for helping with everything that's y'all doing?
Yeah, I got to shout out to my team. My team has carried this thing in so many ways. So, like sometimes, like the race director can get all the credit, or he can be the one that gets chewed out the most if things go wrong. But reality is, more it's going to go right more times than it's going to go wrong. But my team has just been crushing it. So hopefully that manifests itself on race day for everybody. I think it will, but yeah, just shout out to my team of people. They are fantastic.
Yeah. And also y'all pick y'all paces on Saturday morning. Okay. Don't
Yeah,
act rude. Y'all know it's gonna be a
yeah,
lot of people, but it's a good
yeah,
event to bring the family to. And
yeah,
yeah, make sure you guys know just you are valuable. No matter what, you're valuable, and just do the best you can do. And don't
yeah.
think you gotta be as good as the first place runner. Just
That's
just
right.
do what you can do.
That's
Do what you
right.
can do. You know what I mean? So but for those who are just now joining, and if you missed it, feel free and watch the replay. It'll be available as soon as I hop off. But other than that, feel free to share this with your friends, your family, your coworkers, your cousins, your grandmamas, anybody that you believe should be actively
Yeah,
involved in something. Just
yeah,
share it to everybody and let them know, what's happening around the Midlands. So I
yeah.
appreciate your time, Jesse, and thank
Hey,
you for
man.
all you do. Okay.
Hey, appreciate the opportunity, dude. We'll see you Saturday.
After I might be there Saturday. You know what? I should sign up. Yeah, I should sign up.
Come
Absolutely.
on,
Thank.
come
Yeah.
on. We can't talk about this much and you not be there. Come on.
That makes sense. It does because originally I was gonna take a trip, but it's gonna be snowing too much up there in Chicago. So I said, nah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's gonna be like 65 degrees and sunny here. The snow can wait, dude. Come on. Yeah.
I'll be there, man. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, bro. Okay.
Heard that. All right, man. We'll see you.
All right. See y'all later, man. Thank
All
you.
right.
I'll do the 10K.